Today we're going to talk about here on Everything Star Wars. By the way, I'm Rob. I'm here and you're there. We're going to talk about another Daisy Ridley interview, a Mark Hamill tweet about his future with Star Wars, and Daisy Ridley talking about Reys Parents. So, without further ado, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and notification bell. And let's get on with the video. Mark Hamill was asked by Michael Rockwell on Twitter, using 3 words, can you give us a hint at what's to come in The Rise of Skywalker? Mark Hamill's answer, my final episode. This is it for Mark. This sounds it for Luke. Unless they use a cameo appearance in the future as a Force ghost or something. Sadly, as disappointed as I am, this is it. Daisy Ridley, another interview. And if you missed my 2, I'll put the videos down below in the comment section. Daisy was asked, The Force Awakens was a familiar, fun reintroduction to the Star Wars universe, while The Last Jedi was a darker, riskier installment. How does The Rise of Skywalker compare? Daisy's answer, genre-wise, it's different from the other 2, which will become clear when the film comes out. It's quite emotional. There's a different drive than the previous 2 films, but this is a lot of fun. I really missed John Boyega during the last one, The Last Jedi, because she wasn't really with them. But we're back together, and now Oscar Isaac is a part of it. To me, it felt like kids going on an adventure. She was asked again, another question. There's been an intense obsession with Reys Parents, and many fans are dissatisfied when they were revealed to be nobodies in The Last Jedi. Is there more to the story in the new film? Daisy answered, Director J.J. Abrams did say that the question is answered in the film. So at the end of the film, you do know what the dealio is. Another question was asked. People lost their minds for Rey's backflip over a TIE fighter in the Rise of Skywalker trailer. How much of that is actually you? Her answer, I had learned a version of it, but there was a risk of breaking ankles, so I couldn't do the full thing. But there's a bit in the film where you do see me upside down. It's funny because I did 95% of my stunts, but that's the one thing I didn't fully do. People are like, oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, ugh. Are there any Episode 9 fan theories that you find particularly amusing? I think I know where they were going with this one. Daisy's answer, I haven't seen much this time, but last time I found it pretty hilarious because people were talking about time travel and that Kylo Ren was a baby. It was nuts. The one thing with Skywalker was my agent's son said, I bet the title's going to be blue. And I was like, how'd you know that? Last question. Writer-director Rian Johnson received a ton of backlash online after The Last Jedi, with many fans petitioning to remake the film and redeem Luke Skywalker's character. Were you surprised at all by the controversy? Daisy's answer. I wasn't surprised, no. It's just a different thing. Everyone's going to have an opinion now anyway on the internet, but I also think it's fair. If people hold something incredibly dear and think they know how it should be, and it's not like that, it's fair for the people to think that they were done wrong. It doesn't mean they were ultimately. Ryan's a filmmaker and one person can't dictate how a film is supposed to be, but freedom of expression, sure. That was the interview that Daisy Ridley had recently. saying that Reys Parents will be explained in this one. We'll understand everything by the end of the film. I certainly hope so. I've gone over rumors about Reys Parents. If you missed the video, I'll put it in the comment section below so you can see it. It's called Is Rey a Clone? With that being said, Mark is done, which upsets me to no end. Luke Skywalker's been my favorite for 40 years. One of my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe. Of course, you know me by now. You know Count Dooku is my all-time favorite. But in the original trilogy, I'd have to go with Luke Skywalker. In the sequel trilogy, boy, it's rough. But just going by sequel characters, I'd have to say Poe Dameron. And that's, if I had to pick one for each one, that's who I would go with. To me, this was about the Skywalkers in the Skywalker saga and how it was supposed to end. 1 to 3 is about Anakin, 4 to 6 is about Luke. 7, 8, and 9 should have been about Luke, Leia, and their children. How it ends with their children, whether it's a massive battle and whether Luke sacrifices himself to save one of his kids, or Leia sacrifices herself, or it could have Han, or however it was, you know, we'll never know how it could have been, how it should have been, what, you know, the thing is, like she said, people were disappointed in Rian Johnson's version, and everybody's in their head is going to have their own version of Star Wars, how 7 should be, how 8 should be, and how 9 should be. I know that I would have loved to have seen Luke and Snoke, Kylo Ren, Rey have an epic battle at the end of 9 where Luke basically had to sacrifice himself so that the Jedi can live on. And if they would have named it The Rise of Skywalker and named them the Skywalkers instead of the Jedis in honor of him, in honor of his epic death and all he did, his legacy, I could have lived with that. I think we all could have lived with that. I think we all could have lived with if 8 would have fulfilled not all the questions, but some of the questions. If they would have fulfilled Luke training her and her knowing, finding out some of the dark side. Maybe that dark side cave could have been a really cool thing. Could have shown her on Jakku. Could have shown her parents, but from a distance that we don't see it. But she's still trying to get her answers. And that Luke tells her maybe her answers will be fulfilled. Just give it time. The Force will show you the way, or things will happen, something like that. You know, we all pictured it to go a different way, and we're all disappointed, and the fandom is torn in two. And it's not just because of The Last Jedi. It's because of both movies. And I'll get into that into another video I'm going to make probably on Friday. But with that being said, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you happy with Mark's answer? Are you happy with Daisy's answer that we're going to find out about Reys Parents? Are you happy with Mark knowing that this is the end? This is his final episode. That's what he said. Are you happy with her answer she gave about Rian Johnson and The Last Jedi? You let me know. And I'll see you for a couple more videos tomorrow on Everything Star Wars. Take care. Have a good one.